Almost every guitar player begins their soloing journey with this. It sits naturally under the fingers and it's easy to make music with. But the second you try to learn the major scale, it usually falls apart. It feels like some boring exercise that's disconnected from your real playing. So today I'm going to show you a way to make your major scale feel just as natural and musical as your pentatonics. Hi, I'm Lincoln, and this video is part of my series to help you solo with confidence and freedom all across the fretboard. And by the end of this video, you'll have 2 scale positions that connect seamlessly and cover 5 frets of the neck. Let's get into it. First, we're going to keep it simple and play in the key of A minor. So here's our A minor chord on the 5th fret. And here's the A minor pentatonic scale in the same spot. See how the chord and the scale sit in the same area? This helps you to connect your solos with the chord you're playing over. Now another option to play over the A minor chord is the A natural minor scale, which is just the same as the major scale, except starting from a different note. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that in a minute. Usually people learn this scale in the open position like this. So now your scale practice happens in one area, over here, and your actual playing happens in another, totally disconnected. So instead of doing that, another way that we can learn the A natural minor scale is simply by taking our A minor pentatonic and adding 2 notes to it. And those 2 notes are B and F. So you just drop those B's and F's into your A minor pentatonic scale, and then you have a full A natural minor scale in the 5th fret area right under your fingers. So now that we've dealt with the minor chord, let's move on to the major chord. So here's our C chord on the 8th fret. And here's our pentatonic scale in the same spot. Just like before with the A minor, we now have a chord and a pentatonic in the same area. To build that C pentatonic into a full C major scale, which works great over a C chord, we can just add the same notes that we added before, B and F. Now we have 2 different scales, the A natural minor scale and the C major scale. But here's the thing about these 2 scales. They're actually exactly the same scale. So A natural minor goes like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and C major scale goes like this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So it's exactly the same notes, but just starting from a different note in the scale. And when you're soloing, the starting note is irrelevant because just because it's an A minor chord, you don't have to start every phrase on an A, and same for a C chord, you don't have to start every phrase on a C. So I think one of the traps that people fall into when they're learning these 7-note scales is that they kind of think of their pentatonic stuff, because they learnt it first, I guess, like it's almost like the training wheels for the real stuff, and the real stuff is like 7-note scales. But pentatonic scales are perfectly valid and they sound great. What you're really looking to do is add new language to your playing, so to have access to other colors that you don't get from the pentatonic scale. And the way to do this, I think, is to improvise with the pentatonic stuff that you improvise with, and then also chuck in some of those B's and F's that we learned. So you can play licks or phrases that you already know, and then you can try to play similar phrases that have those extra notes in there, like this. Another way that you can think of it too is a bit like a language. At the moment you're speaking with a certain amount of words and you're trying to add some more vocabulary to your existing language. So it's not about just throwing away the language that you know, it's about adding those new words to your vocabulary. And if you want to know exactly how to make your solos more musical without sounding like you're just chasing notes up and down the scale, then check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.